Coming up next on Turnpike Music Garage, Tim Warren and Eric Donnelly of the band The Alternate Roots with news about their new CD. Our guitar guru, Frank Barrese, is going to show us how to play that killer intro to Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Then we're on the bench for the power-driven tip about how to restring your bass guitar like a pro. That and more coming up. I'm Don Smith and you're watching Turnpike Music Garage, the show about everything guitars. Stick around. In the garage today, we've got Tim Warren and Eric Donnelly from the rock and roll band The Alternate Roots. Tim and Eric met when they were in college, and in the years since, they've written some of the most inspiring music that I've had the pleasure to listen to. Guys, I know you're in the middle of a pretty demanding tour right now, so I really appreciate your being here. Welcome to the garage.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Yeah.
You just came out with a new CD. Want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Called Lately?
I think it's our best record. I mean, I'm really excited about it. It's called Lately, and it's 14 tracks, and I think it's our best one yet.
Hey, you and I talked offline about having fun making it. Mm-hmm. What was that like? I mean, just what do you mean when you say I had a lot of fun making this one?
It was interesting because I feel like the process, I mean, every record's different, you know, the kind of the process that goes into making every album is different, but I feel like for this one, we just kind of said, you know, we're going to go, we didn't even know we were making a record when we started. Like, we went down to Nashville and Tim and I just got together and we had a handful of tunes and some sketches. And we just got this really great rehearsal space, and you know, we just spent a couple days, couple weeks, just kind of writing nonstop. And we worked with this producer named Teddy Morgan in Nashville, and he was just, you know, he was a great guitar player, great guy, and you know, we just all kind of got in a room and played, and didn't really know what we were doing. And you know, kind of midway through, we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And just the environment was very laid back, and it was fun, and you know, it's definitely a really cool experience.
You know, one of the things that I notice about your music, that I enjoy about your music, is how your melodies are always full of surprises and you weave those in with these incredible lyrics. Where does that come from?
I think, you know, Nashville's a town where everybody's writing together all the time, and there's different combinations of people every day of the week. And what I think I gained a greater respect for when I was down there, every time I go down there, is that I think it's hard for two people like Eric and myself who come from different places. I mean, Eric was a student of the guitar for a long time, and of music and things like that. And I was always singing when I grew up, but I was new to instruments and chord progressions and things like that. But as we've sort of evolved as writers, I think we've sort of morphed a little bit into each other in a way. Like, you know, I've gained a better knowledge of interesting chord progressions and things, and brought some lyrical ideas to the table, and we sort of swapped identities throughout the years, and it's cool. I feel like as we get older, we're sort of generating more of like a singular voice in the band, and we're just getting a better understanding of what we both like, and there's a little bit of competitiveness in there. It's like if he has a good idea, I want to bring something to it.
Okay.
You know, I want to weigh on it, and vice versa, and I think that always serves a purpose. But it's a rare thing, I think, for two people with our backgrounds in the situation to work so well together.
And you know, to kind of keep going on that point, I think one thing that for this record in particular, like a goal of mine, or I think a goal of ours, was, you know, when we're working on tunes, to try to like leave space for the other one. I mean, that was always something, you know, being a big Beatles fan, like I think that was always something that I really dug about, you know, when they were, you know, at their best, that they would, you know, write something and it's like, well, I'm going to leave part of this song for somebody else to work on, because, you know, I don't want it all to be just my voice. Like, I don't want it just to be my idea, and it's like, I'm going to leave a bridge or a verse or a chorus. I'm just going to leave that blank, and then, you know, I'd send it over to Tim or show it to him and be like, you know, I've got this part done and I want you to come up with that. It's like, I could come up with that myself, but I think it's more interesting, you know, for the concept of a band to have, you know, more than one kind of voice and idea, and you know, you just come up with something that you wouldn't have thought of on your own. So I think that's kind of cool, and I think that's very much, you know, the way we made this record.
Is there a song that you guys really like out of this? One particular stands out, or?
I think in that framework, the song that we're going to play today, "Carry Me Home," is a song that I think we both, the way we wrote it, like we both kind of had these ideas, and it's probably the song we fought with the most on the album, trying to make it a cohesive thing. and like I had an idea for one part, he had an idea for another part, and we just kind of we battled with that song for a long time trying to make it make sense, and I think the version we got was pretty cool.
Yeah, and to a credit to the guy we worked with. I mean, he sort of pushed us in a less conventional direction with the arrangement, and it was exciting. I mean, a lot of pop music, it's it's verse chorus, bridge, solo or chorus out, and you don't ever really have to stray from that if you don't want to, and it's not always a good idea to, because that's a really good way to write a song. Yeah. But it was cool. We knew we had picked the right guy to make the record with Ted, because he was able to sort of sort out those things we couldn't agree on, and everything else we were bringing to the table we knew was cooking on some level.
So you guys want to play something for us?
Sure.
So Tim Warren and Eric Donnelly, the Alternate Roots, playing a cut from their new album Lately called Carry Me Home.